Hi everyone, so we are going to review the Cask of Amontillado. I'm going to go ahead and give you the plot and kind of tell you the story in this video. That way when you go to read the story, you understand like what's going to happen and what's going on. Sometimes post style and the vocabulary that's used can be difficult to understand the plot. So we're just going to kind of preview it and go through it. Sorry, I know spoilers. That way you guys know what's happening and you can kind of pick through it. All right, so let's start with the exposition. So this is the exposition of the story is when Montresor is introduced. He then discusses how he is upset with Fortunato and seeks revenge. So Montresor is the narrator, and then Fortunato is like the friend or the other person that we are then introduced to. They're both interested in wine, and at the time, the story is taking place in this like carnival or festival. So basically, Fortunato is a wine taster, but he's also the enemy of Montresor. But Fortunato doesn't know that Montresor is upset with him, and Montresor wants to get revenge. So he kind of puts on this like fake, Montresor's like, oh, everything's fine, but Fortunato has no idea that Montresor has ulterior motives. All right, so then what happens is Montresor says like, he goes like, I have this wine called Amontillado. Amontillado is a type of wine. And so he says, but I have it in these catacombs, which you guys learned about and you saw in that video before this. So he says, Fortunato is like, oh man, like that's great. Like I love wine. Like no way, I can't believe you have this super rare, expensive type of wine. So he's like, you have to show me. And Montresor is like, nah, I don't think so. Like, I don't think you want to see it. And Fortunato is like, no, you have to tell me. So, and because it's like a festival, right? So at this time, Fortunato is a little bit intoxicated and he's not super aware of what's going on. So he's just like, yeah, like come down to these catacombs. And this is where I have this wine, this super rare wine. And I guess, yeah, like you can try it. So he says like, I've got a big barrel of it. And because it's a rare wine, Fortunato is like, no way do you have this like big barrel of Amontillado. And so he's like, okay, I'm going to go down with you to the catacombs to figure out if that's legit. So here's a picture of the catacombs, right? Obviously, probably not a place you want to go with somebody that you are not friends with. But remember, Fortunato doesn't know that Montresor is angry and wants revenge. So then Montresor lures Fortunato down into these catacombs. It's creepy, they're damp, they're dark. And Montresor Montresor then chains Fortunato to the wall of the catacombs. So he like lures him down into these catacombs and Fortunato gets stuck. He's chaining and then Montresor goes to leave. So then he ignores the screams of Fortunato for mercy. And Fortunato's like, help, like you can't leave me here. Obviously, Montresor has a bit of evil in him, so he's like, nope, I'm good. All right, so here is, let me see if I can zoom out. And you guys have access to this link, so let's see. Oh, shoot, it froze. Hang on, let me refresh the page. It's like we're teaching in live class. Okay, sorry gang. I'm going to go back out and go back in. There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. So there's a picture. It kind of gives you a visual. So what Montresor starts to do is then he's chained Fortunato to the wall, right? And then you can see in the picture he starts breaking him in because he's going to leave him there to die. So the following action of the Cask of Amontillado is when Fortunato stops screaming and Montresor only hears the jingling of the bells on his costume. He's in this weird costume because it's carnival. There's a big festival going on. And he then, and the Montresor then throws his torch into the catacombs and finishes sealing the walls in front of Fortunato so no one can find him. All right. And then there's a picture of the mask. Okay, so big takeaways, obviously, don't trust the people that you're not friends with. And be wary of ulterior motives. And we will go ahead and read the Cask of Amontillado tomorrow. Okay, see ya.